Right guys, Mark Crossfield here. We're going to do a quick fire matchup, Steve. Got Mr. Buzzman with us for the quick fire matchup.
Hello.
We got Callaway Big Bertha V Series hitting up against Callaway Big Bertha. Now I've done full reviews of these guys. If you want to check out the full reviews, they're on my channel. Just search the two clubs. But I brought Steve in to show you a couple of different club head speeds with these clubs.
A bit quicker than you are.
Bit quicker indeed. We'll look at dispersion also. So let's do a quick fire matchup to try and help you guys maybe pick the right Big Bertha for your golf bag. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, so I'm going to start with the Big Bertha V Series, Steve. Okay. It's the black head to the black finish. It's got the old retro looks, which I've talked about in the other reviews. I mean, I'm loving the retro looks. Are you old enough to remember this driver?
Well, I remember it.
Okay.
The thing is, I was probably, I don't know, I just started, probably 12 years old, so I was about that high.
Okay.
I was the kid who wanted to try it.
Yeah.
You know? I want it, Dad, I want it.
I can hit it, Dad, I can hit it.
When you're older, son.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am older than Steve, and I actually had this driver in the grey, the original one, which it's modelled on, and I love that. That's what I love about it. So you don't quite have the same emotional attachments to its shapes and its appearance as me?
It's quite interesting though with the groove pattern on the front. I mean, it does throw you back. It's very iconic, isn't it?
And then that sole with the old V sole as well. So let's give it a hit. Now we've hit some real balls, both of us using the Titleist Pro V1X balls, as well as using GC2 for some launch data, which Steve has there in front of him. So I'm just going to hit this one. What were my numbers like with V Series then, Steve?
It was a V Series.
So what was my carry?
Carrying it.
Cool, hit that well.
265 yards.
265, which is, what's my longest with the V?
Your longest was, well, you had two at 266 and one at 263.
Okay,
You have wedge dispersion with your driver.
Yeah, so it was quite tight, wasn't it? I mean, that's not the club, that's me. You're going to see this with all the clubs.
Me.
Yeah, but it's true, isn't it? I mean, I'm not hitting one club particularly straighter than another. I like the people who do dispersion tests on there. You test dispersion, testing how rubbish you are at working the face to the path. So I was spinning, what was my spin numbers with it?
The spin, if we have a look at the spin here, 2978, so just under 3,000.
So that's quite high for me, and I have found that with V Series. It's not the lowest spinning driver in the world for me, but it's not compromising the distance too much, because the 260 is, or 265 is about where I drive most of them. I get a few longer ones when I absolutely nail it, but they're very similar. So if I just compare that then to the Bertha, or the Big Bertha, this one has a different finish, doesn't it? I would argue, for lots of people, I think this driver would look like it's got a higher quality of finish, as in it's shinier and it's got the glitter in, so like shelf appeal, when people buy that or pick it up, I would say they feel like this one feels like a bit more of a premium product. Yeah. Shape wise, you got any preference between the two?
The one I've got in my hand here, the V Series, I really
like the shape of that better as well than the Big Bertha. I mean, Big Bertha, you get the old slidable weight on the back for adjustability. You get the same neck features as you get on V Series as well. You get both of them have kind of funky faces, but like I say in every video, every club has a face that maximises earth's velocity, speed. So let's give this one a hit as well. I like the look of that one better than this. This is a little bit almost more pear shaped. That one's rounder, which I like. And this one makes a slightly tinnier sound, don't you think?
Yeah, it does a little bit.
It's because it's got that composite head on it, so it makes that slightly different sound. So if, what were my numbers on this one? What was my length on this one?
It was a little shorter, 258.
258 is average, is it?
Yes.
What was my longest?
The longest one though was 270.
Okay, so again, with those numbers, even though the average is shorter, the longest hit, I got my longest hit out of both of them with this one. Yeah. So it shows you how strike is playing bigger roles than other things.
Yeah, you've got one like the one at 251, spinning a lot. Okay.
So what's this? What's the average spin on this?
So the average.
It's less, isn't it?
The average spin with this one was, I don't know, pretty similar to be honest, 2931.
That's just the same spin, because this feels like a lower spinning driver to me than that one, but obviously the numbers are showing that's not. I mean, I hit both of them, I feel, and the visual, was the peak height with both of them the same?
Peak height, Similar again.
It's a lovely drive.
The V was slightly higher.
V was slight
48 to 42.
because this feels like a lower flighted driver for me, which is why I then think it spins less. So look, you have a go with the V series then. So for those two, for me, there's so little in it. It's so much more down to the kind of, I love that shape from old. So for the people who haven't got that, they might go more for this. But can you see how buying choices can be swayed around things that's not always data driven, because the data on lots of these clubs, as I keep saying, is going to be so similar, isn't it?
It can be quite fickle as well, because I remember when that one first came out, I loved the blue.
Yeah.
Then they bring a black one out again.
Yeah.
I love the black.
Yeah, well, we change very easily, like you say, don't we? So if you're hitting there the V series. Now your total difference with V series was 279. So my 265. So there's that added club head speed and then translates into ball speed. You were spinning the V series down at 2.7 to my 2.9. Your dispersion is not as good as mine, but we know that when we play, we can see that, as long as I'm not playing certain days on the Brabazon. All right. But so the numbers are very true. You did get one out of 2.89 with V. With the V series, which is a good hit, isn't it? Go on, give it another hit.
But I like it's got that classic look, but it's certainly modern as well.
Yeah, it's a funny, clever mix, isn't it?
You kind of look at it and go, oh yeah, that's old school. I remember this one. But then you put it down and go, well, actually no, it's a new.
Yeah, well, it's shiny and nice and looks new, doesn't it?
I like when they have the arrow on the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
They used to get rid of that on like the tour head.
Yeah. Well, there you go. The other one of this, the Alpha, doesn't have it, and I miss it on that club. That's a good drive. Okay, so then you went on to Big Bertha. How did you find Big Bertha over V? Just feelings and looks. I mean,
I like it. I had an FT9.
Which that makes you think of, does it?
Yeah. So again, what you're talking about with the sound. I mean, I'm very used to that sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a driver that performed nicely for me. So.
Okay.
Bringing back great memories.
Yeah, back in the day. I mean, you were 10 yards shorter on average with the with the Bertha over the V. 269 carry on the Big Bertha to 279 with the V. Your spin was higher with the Big Bertha than the V series. So the V series on your performance is definitely a whole lot better on this batch of shots. But you weren't striking that one as well.
No.
And I think that had a big sway on the info there. You did get one out there at 276 with Big Bertha, which is kind of up there apart from your 289, which hit with V. So it's very similar numbers. Go on, give it one more hit.
But no, it sits
for you, yeah. That's a good shot. I mean, this is why I've brought Steve in for this test. I think it's quite an interesting one. On the set of numbers, if you were purchasing, you would purchase V on numbers all day long. Okay, I think if you preferred that club, looks, feel, visual flights, we could hit enough shots to get them to perform the same. And then the decision you would have to make, and I think this is an interesting one for people getting fitted, is that you would have to make the decision of, do I think I hit the V series better than the Big Bertha? Or if I came back tomorrow, would that test just flip around straight away? And I mean, let's pretend, just for devil's advocate, you wanted that club, but it is, as we can see here, it's 10 yards shorter than V. What would you do? Would you think, no, I'm just going to go with V, or would you think, can we hit a few more with that? Because I feel like I can get more out of it.
Yeah, I'd hit a few more. Like the last shot I just played then was a bit out the heel, so I've lost distance, but it was certainly a shot that would stay in play.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I can actually use that as well, I'm not going to go on total distance, I'm going to go on, do I feel like I can hit this under pressure, can I keep it in play? So
okay.
I think there's more factors, isn't there?
Oh, I totally agree, and that's, like I said, why I've brought you in. If you look at my numbers, which we laughed at when we were collecting them, they're very consistent, and I get comments from people saying, oh, but you hit the ball to say, why don't you get someone in with more, like a handicap golf or what have you? Couldn't find one of them, so I got Buzza in. That's a joke. But what I mean by that is, you know as well that these clubs would perform exactly the same if you could produce the same data each time. Yeah. I would argue I'm a bit better at producing the same impact with a driver each time. The driver is usually my skill, and the driver is, I wouldn't say is your strongest part of your game. It is at times, but it can go off as well. So it's the fact that you want a colourway or a look could outweigh 6 yards.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Definitely.
Because at the end of the day, we're talking 10 yards carry here. That's quite a lot. Normally, it's like 5 yards or 6 yards. I get a difference between the clubs. And 6 yards, you can choose whichever one you want.
I've had it in a fitting before where the driver that I've been hitting the furthest was the one that I didn't like the sound of. I didn't like the feel. The shaft, it wasn't giving me the sort of the feedback that I wanted.
Yeah, so
I
the
said,
feeling.
I said I'm not going to use that.
Yeah, absolutely. So interesting points there, guys. Two good drivers. I would sway more toward V series. You need to go and get fitted for yourself and do a similar thing to what me and Steve has done. I wouldn't say one is particularly higher spinning or lower spinning than another. I wouldn't say particularly one goes further or shorter than another, subject to how you hit it. For both of us there, we would be going on that personal looks, feel. It's all the appearance and feel, really, because they're both performing very similar, aren't they?
Yeah, no.
Good stuff.
Very good.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Post comments down below. Which one are you going to try? Love it or hate it? All these companies have lots of models now. Is that something you're keen on or not? I mean, you can see just by changing the model in what it means to me personally, gives me a different buying option. It's not always data. They've just kind of dialed into my childhood memories, and it makes me now want a product. So it's not all about just how far and what does it spin, which lots of people want it to be. Thanks for watching. Post comments. Speak to you all soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.